Morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. Yummy. It is Thursday, January the 25th, 2018, episode number 269. So glad to see you here this morning on this fine Thursday. And it is the last Thursday of January. Look at that. This January is going fast, isn't it? I know. It's like zipping along. We're going to be in February soon. Things will start to, I guess we still are in the midst of winter, aren't we? I was going to say things are going to start to warm up and start looking towards spring, but we still got February to get through, don't we? We got a ways to go, but that's okay. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week is going along as good as you want it to, and if it's not, I hope that the struggles that you might have ran into this week are surmountable and that you can see the light on the other side of the hill that you're in the middle of climbing. But it is Thursday. Things are rocking along. Had a great day yesterday. Wednesday, of course, busy day, fun day. And got to end the day, of course, serving at my local church with the students there, which I love to do. It's always a good time. So fun stuff. One thing that we did have a conversation on. Interesting conversation. Okay. Well, it was a very short conversation, but it was an observation. When you are communicating with somebody that you do not know. You don't know if they're male, female, age. You don't know anything about them, okay? And you're communicating with them by text or by email. And then you're telling somebody about that communication, okay? How do you decide what voice to use for the other party that you're communicating? For an example, let's say that you're talking to a company or let's say that this is how it came up, you're communicating with somebody that you're renting an Airbnb from, right? If they're telling you good news about something, like you ask a question and they're like, oh yeah, sure, that's no problem, would your tone be, and I sent them a thing and asked if we could do this and they said, oh sure, no problem? Or would you be like, oh yeah, they said, oh sure, no problem? Or if you're communicating with them and they're giving you bad news, they're saying, no, you can't do what you're asking. Is it, oh, no, you can't do that? Or is it, no, you can't do that? My observation is if it's news that you don't like, you go for a deep male voice. And they said, oh, you can't do that. But if it's pleasant, good news, they're like, oh, yeah, that's no problem. And you go high-pitched female. Now, interesting. There is no interesting dialects. There's no Asian dialect, no Irish, no Italian, right? It's just high-low male, female. So interesting observation. Think about it in your life if that's the true case. When you get good news from somebody you don't know by email, do you explain it to somebody else in a high-pitched voice? Oh, yes, we're so happy to do this for you. And when it's bad news, is it always, no, there's no way we can do that for you. No. It must be a guy on the other end, right? I don't know. Interesting observation. Something to think about. So I noticed it yesterday. But shower, I do have a fact for you this morning. Interesting fact to share. Moscow, as in Russia. Guess how much sunlight they had in the entire month of December. Now, this does not mean it wasn't light outside, or it was like pitch black. It could have been light outside but overcast, like no sunlight or that day, right? How much sunlight in the entire month of December? Place your guesses. 6 minutes. 6 minutes of sunlight in the entire month of December. Can you imagine? And you think where you live is a little wintry. That's wintry, man. Oh my goodness. All the kids, can you imagine being in high school there? It must be fist fights every day. I remember when I was a kid in school, there'd be fights like crazy in February, and the teachers and stuff would chalk it up that, that we hadn't had sun in quite a while. So go figure. But on we go. So glad to have you here this morning. Don't forget that you can find us in the morning routine every morning on Facebook Live, of course, YouTube, and all the podcasts. So make sure that if whatever platform you are joining us today, if it works, perfect. Subscribe, like, share, whatever. If you want to change, there's other places to go. So if you're in the car, you're on the road, whatever it might be. And nice thing about podcasts, not that I want everybody on podcasts, but nice thing is if you have limited amount of time, you listen to it at 1.5 speed, and then I sound like this, and I go really fast, and it's really awesome. Really, I need to talk really slow so that on podcasts, if you speed me up, I sound normal speed. But anyways, I am available on other platforms if this one doesn't work the best for you. So on we go. How about some stories this morning? First article that I have for you today is meetings. Ta-da, picture of a meeting. Meetings, when you go to meetings, the thought is that you have to talk a lot to make an impact on the company, to make sure that they notice that you're there and that you're part of the team and all that stuff. This article, on second thought, you should maybe talk less in meetings. Interesting, because there's plenty of articles about how you should talk more. This article, though, I do like. The conventional wisdom is clear and on its face, totally sensible. If you're trying to make a name for yourself in your company, you need to contribute during team meetings, which we know that, right? Speaking up and sharing your opinions is a surefire way to get noticed. This is conventional wisdom. Now they're saying in this article, right, which you can read at themorningroutine.live, that maybe you should think about that a little bit more and not be so eager to just speak, which is common knowledge, right? Think before you speak. Think before you share. Research on creativity suggests that the people who have the most ideas are also most likely to have the best ideas. So it's a good idea to generate a lot of ideas while you're in a meeting, at least inside your own head to start. Before deciding to contribute that, though, you should write it down, take a look at it, and make a decision on whether it's share-worthy or not. Yes, share-worthy. Well, the old Elaine out of Seinfeld quote. It's share-worthy. Next, people who contribute a lot of meetings listen only long enough to figure out what they want to say next. That, I can tell you, is positively true. But after they have a contribution in mind, they pay less attention to the ongoing conversation and spend their mental effort remembering what they want to say and polishing their own idea. That is absolutely a fact as well. As a result, they miss a chance to really listen to what others are saying. The ongoing conversation might actually spur an even better idea than the one you had initially, or it may give you a chance to build on someone else's contribution. So the idea is, have your brilliant ideas, write them down so that you're not spending all your time memorizing them, and then decipher through them as the meeting goes to decide on any of them are share-worthy or not. Don't just spew information out at the table. So very interesting. It's conventional wisdom, but it's different than what we've always been told when it comes to meetings. So, but anyways, next article I'm sharing has to do with Amazon. This article, though, I think I have a problem with this article. I don't know how I feel about it. That's why I wanted to share it, because it's an article that prompts thought. The title of the article is 10% of Amazon employees in Ohio are on food stamps. That's 10%, okay, small amount of Amazon employees in Ohio are on food stamps. And I don't know. All right, let us just read some stuff from this thing and then we can get into it. A new report has found that some 700 Amazon employees in Ohio, that's 10% of the entire workforce, receive assistance from the Supplemental Nutritional Assistant Program. 2 years ago, Ohio won a bid for 2 Amazon fulfillment centers. And since then, the e-commerce company has gotten $125 million in tax breaks and cash grants. In exchange, the state figured it would get thousands of decent paying jobs. Though Amazon pays full-time workers in these centers around $15 per hour, they also rely heavily on a large force of temporary workers who are not assigned enough hours to support themselves without government assistance. Now, there's the facts that this article is presenting. Now, the article is trying to present, it seems, Ohio, or Amazon, in a poor light because they got grants to come to Ohio to build these fulfillment centers, and they have 700 employees that are receiving food assistance. That's 10% of the workforce. Now, I don't know if, I don't know. I'm sharing this article because I'm not sure if that's the proper context of this article. I don't know. My thought is this. 10% is a very small amount. Also, the 10% there are only working there part-time. So they probably could have other jobs because they're only working there on a very small time frame. It's only a part-time job, not a full-time job. So is it Amazon's fault that they're getting food stamps when they're working part-time and not working full-time someplace else or whatever. I don't know. So whatever. I like to see both sides of an article, and that's why I'm sharing this one. So Amazon, I think, is doing a great job here. Obviously, they've provided a lot of jobs. So the question is, would you think that they're doing a perfect job, or do you think that they're failing? I guess that's the question. That's for you to decide based on the facts in the article. So, but anyways, last article that I have for you. This one is interesting. Yes, they're watching you is what I titled this article. I didn't write it, but I titled it. The title of the actual article is Big Brother on Wheels. Why your car company may know more about you than your spouse. Ooh, intriguing, right? Most new vehicles monitor where the driver goes and how he or she drives. They have become sophisticated computers on wheels that offer even more access to our personal habits and behaviors than smartphones do. How fast you drive, how hard you hit the brakes, how much fuel your car uses, how much the entertainment you prefer, because you're choosing your channels and things like that on through the car. The company can determine where you shop, the weather on your street, how often you wear your seatbelt, what you're doing moments before a wreck, where you like to eat, how much you weigh. They know all this stuff. It's amazing. Tens of millions of American cars are being monitored, and the number increases with nearly every new vehicle that is leased and sold. The first space shuttle contained 500,000 lines of software code, but Ford projects in 2020 their vehicles will have 100 million lines of code. And this code is not to make the car run. It's because it's gathering information on everything that you do while you're with the car. Yes. After being asked on multiple occasions what the company does with collected data, a Honda spokeswoman said that the company cannot provide specifics at this time. Fishy. Yes. Now, that said, in these things, they say that there's terms and conditions when you're buying your car that you can or cannot agree to, so you can choose for them to find track information or not track information if you look in the fine-tuned data somewhere down in there. General Motors says they do not collect or use any personal identifiable customer data without customer consent. So a lot of times what that means, not sure in this particular case, they're collecting data, but maybe that's not attached to your name, but like it's still your data. You know, I don't know. Before a customer even gives consent, we describe what kind of data is to be collected and how it will be used, a General Motors spokesperson said. If a customer declines, we do not collect any data from the vehicle. So there you go. On a page outlining its customers' privacy rights, Toyota notes that the vehicle data is collected to improve safety, manage maintenance, and analyze vehicle trends. The site also notes that with permission, customer data may be shared with companies affiliated with Toyota. And there were people in this article that were saying that they agreed to stuff that they never even saw because, you know, when you're buying a car, there's like 50 pages of stuff there with a lot of little letters on it that you don't read every single one. I promise you that. So interesting, though, how cars now have gotten into the business of collecting data on you and I. So that's our stories for today, guys. Let's move on over to the Google Trends. The top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, Larry Nassar. Going to jail for a long time. I believe it was like 150 years or something crazy like that, which is, I mean, that's good news, man. That guy is an animal. So, but wow, when I change this screen, the picture of my face becomes very yellow. That's really, really weird, man. I don't know why it does that. It's very strange. But anyways, number 2, Virginia Woolf. Google Doodle celebrates Virginia Woolf's 136th birthday. I don't know who she is. Number 3, This Is Us. That's the TV show. Number 4, Elton John is retiring from touring. Number 5, Toys R Us closing another 182 stores. Number 6, Nassar. Number 7, Chipper Jones. Number 8, Sea of Thieves. That's an Xbox game. Number 9, Waco. Well, that's the old Waco, Texas story. Number 10, the Lakers basketball. Yes, top 10 most searched things yesterday. Wonder how Waco got in that top list. Like out of the blue, why are people searching Waco all of a sudden? So very interesting. All right, on we go Facebook trends today. Let's see what's trending in our news, the stories that are going on there. Turpin case is at the top of the list. That's the story where they had all those kids in their place, chained to the beds and stuff like that. Very weird story there. Next, Australian Open is number 2. Then we have Lou Anne Simon. MSU President Lou Anne Simon steps down amid fallout from Larry Nassar case. After that, we have Padmavat. Ranveer posts heartwarming message ahead of Padmavat release. I have no idea what that is. Wow, I had no clue. Then we have Burger King. Burger King uses the Whopper to teach a valuable lesson on net neutrality. Then we have Recep Tayyip Erdogan. In call, Trump issues stern warning to Turkey over Syria operation. Then we have Thornton, Colorado. Officer fatally shot in Colorado. Manhunt is underway. Then we have the United States Conference of Mayors. More than 100 U.S. mayors just canceled their meeting with Trump. Then we have release the memo. Democrats say they've drafted a response to the Nunes memo. And that is what's trending on Facebook today. Let's move on to a passage of wisdom, guys. Today's passage of wisdom, one verse. It is a challenge for all of us to accept or to not accept. It's like one of those things that's very black and white, but yet it seems in life you live mostly in the gray. It just seems like, I don't know. Today's passage of wisdom is one verse, very simple verse. Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. That's it. It's like, seems so simple. It's very easy. Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind, right? Love him. Chase after him. Ask him for guidance. Ask him for protection. Ask him to lead you to where he wants you to go. Love him. Honor him, right? Share the story of him with people you know. Just seems pretty simple. But there's a lot that goes into that, isn't there, right? It's not as easy as it says. The weird thing is, it is easy as it says right there, right? But daily you have decisions to make along the way. If you're constantly in a frame of mind of deciding on a daily basis. It's sort of like if you're a smoker and you decide to quit smoking. It's hard and almost impossible if you try to decide to quit smoking each and every day. But if you make a decision, boom, I'm done, no more with these. It's a lot easier because you're not thinking about it on whether you should or should not continue each and every day. This is the same thing. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Just decide. It's over. That's it. I'm not monkeying around. This is what I'm going to focus on. And then it becomes much easier. So let's pray, guys, and let's get this great day started. Father, good morning. Father, we thank you for this Thursday. We thank you for this last Thursday in January as this month is going by so quickly. Father, as we're looking towards the end of the month coming in less than a week, help us to reflect on where we started at the beginning of this month, what it was that we wanted to achieve, where did we want to be, how did we want to change the world in any small way, or better ourselves, or better a relationship with our kids or a spouse or friends or family, whatever it is. Help us look and see what it was that we wanted to do this month, and help us to get focused. We have a week left in January to make those things happen that we wanted to do. Give us the strength that we need. Give us the guidance we need to accomplish those things that are in front of us. Father, help us today to stay focused on loving you with our hearts, minds, and soul. It's such a simple thing, but yet that sometimes it can be difficult in the different situations that we get placed in sometimes. Be with us today. Keep us safe. Show us your love as we go through our day, and help us to show other people your love as well. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a magnificent wrap to the morning routine. Thanks for being here this morning. I hope that you have a fantastic Thursday. And tomorrow we will be back here again. And tomorrow morning will be Friday. Friday is tomorrow. I'm very excited. So until tomorrow, guys, don't forget that today, this very day is a perfect opportunity for you to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.